All right, what's going on, guys? Um, this is just going to be a really quick video. I just finished watching the 2025 entry draft first round and stuff, and I was pretty disappointed with what the Blackhawks did. We're going to get into it in a minute. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff for this video. Share it with your friends. But anyway, let's get into it. We kind of knew third overall going in. The Blackhawks ended up selecting Anton Frundell, as was pretty expected. Obviously, Misa went number two. Nothing the Hawks can do about that. The lottery screwed them because the Islanders jumped from 10 to 1 because the NHL is stupid and I hate the lottery so much right now. But anyway, we took Frundell. Listen, he's going to be a fine player. He's not, I don't think he's got going to be a star by any means or anything like that, but he could be another decent middle six or maybe even top six player. We'll see. Um, he is probably going to end up playing in Sweden. I think he said in an interview after the draft that he wants to play in Chicago next year. But if he doesn't make the Blackhawks, then he's going to go back to Sweden. So I think he'll probably just end up back in Sweden next year, which is fine. His team got promoted to the SHL anyway, so it might be a good step up in competition for him. That's pretty much all I have to say about Frundell. I would have rather taken Martone or James Hagens in this spot, but the Blackhawks want to go a different direction. They wanted to go with a more physical player because you draft physicality in the top five, not skill or best player available. So the Blackhawks just decided to do that, which is really fun. Um, so then they didn't do shit for the next like 20 picks. I would have traded up to 12 to get Victor Eklund, Frundell's running mate in Sweden, but they decided not to do that. They were saving all those second round picks for the end of the night for their big grand slam, according to Kyle Davidson. And by the way, I'm a Katie supporter. Um, I've liked most of the moves that he's made as Blackhawks GM and stuff like that. Tonight, I don't like really any of what he did. But we'll see. And I also just want to say I don't hate any of these players because I think that sometimes happens where if you say like something negative about a player or where they were picked, it's like, oh well, you must fucking hate Nestrasil or Mason West, and I don't. They could turn out to be good NHL players. I just think that there was probably better things they could do, or better asset management, or better players they could have picked. But you never know. Mason West might be a Hall of Famer someday. Michael Misa might suck. You never know. Um, I'm also a little bit tired. I'm recording this at 11:34 at night. So anyway, Nestrasil, they waited till 25. They didn't trade up or anything. So Nestrasil at 25. Uh, I mean, look, he's a good player. He's risen a lot on people's boards and stuff. He's big. That's a plus because we really needed big players. You need 6'6" players in an NHL lineup apparently, because Florida's what everybody's copying at the moment. But anyway, Nestrasil, he is a good player. Again, I would have in this spot I would have taken either Lakovic or Spence instead of him. But I guess probably coming into the draft, their heart was probably already set on him, so they ended up going with Nestrasil. Could be a good player, but he's definitely a project. Um, Probably a guy 3, 4 years from now might be ready. Um, I was kind of hoping we were past taking these kinds of projects at this point, but I guess we're not. And then this was the pick that made me almost lose my shit. Um, Mason West. Now, again, I want to reiterate, this is not a personal attack against Mason West. Mason West might be a very good NHL player. He's a two-sport athlete. Um, he's big again. He's got some ability. He could score goals. Great. Um, he is a second-round talent, and we traded pick 34 I think pick 62, I want to say. It's somewhere in the 60s. And a fifth round pick next year to move up 5 spots to get him. And then KD had the balls to say after the draft that, yeah, we really probably didn't have to do it. Let me find the tweet. Ben Pope tweeted it out. Said to Ben Pope, follow Ben Pope on Twitter. He's probably the best Hawks journalist out there. Uh, Quote, Kyle Davidson on trading up for Mason West. I wanted to trade back into the first round to take a Grand Slam hack. I'm swinging for the fences. He said he knows the trade wasn't analytically approved from a pick value standpoint, but he's betting on a hunch. So are we just back to being one of the stupid teams in the NHL again that's betted on hunches? Like, what the fuck? That is the stupidest fucking reason to take a player, because you had a hunch. Especially when you could have probably just gotten that player at 34 anyway and just called it a day there. But no. Let's give up more fucking picks, more assets to get this fucking kid. You know, again, like, he might be good, but it's just like the logic for me isn't there. And that's what's annoying me so much at the moment. I don't get the logic behind this draft. Besides, we want big players, and we're going to overvalue them. That's what the logic seems like to me, and I just do not get it. And I think this is Katie's worst draft as a Hawks general manager. I'm not going to sit here and act like Katie should be fired. I think Katie, for the most part, has done a good job as the Blackhawks general manager. But tonight he really, really disappointed me. And I hope this is like the lowest offseason we have. First, we missed out on Carl, Sullivan, all the other good coaches. We ended up with Jeff Blashill, who may or may not be good. We don't know. It's either the Detroit team sucked because of him, but, you know, they also haven't been good since he left either, so it's probably not all on him. And now, instead of Misa, again, not drafting Misa was not their fault, but we're not getting Misa, we're getting fucking Frondell. And instead of taking somebody like an Eklund, which they could have used the same assets that they used to get Mason West, plus the 25th overall pick to move up to 12 and get him. But no, instead we decided to use all those picks on Mason West. Yeah, this is going to be the end of this video. I know this probably isn't the greatest video ever, but I'm just really annoyed and I just wanted to get this out really quick. So thank you for watching if you made it to the end. I hope the Hawks have a better day tomorrow. I hope I have a better day tomorrow, and I hope everybody has a good day tomorrow. And bye-bye.